All right, we have a number of new updates in Floyi version 2.3.0. Let's just get started with the highlights here. Now in AI Authority, we're including AI mode and ChatGPT as options. So all you need to do is come over to settings and opt in into Google AI mode and ChatGPT search. Both versions are the web version, so they're not like the APIs or anything. They're the versions that your users would use when they go into a browser and enter in chatgpt.com. So whatever they're putting in into that, that's what we are fetching. And at this intro rate, it's only 1 credit per topic and per AI search engine. And so once you click settings, let's cancel because I already have it. Your credits number here will refresh and you'll see how much it costs to refresh the SERPs every time. So everything is clearly laid out. It says it includes AI mode and ChatGPT. Next, let's come down a little bit. You can see in our AI authority scores now, we're including AI mode and ChatGPT into the score. You can see how our brand Floyi is actually doing pretty well with AI search, but in terms of the SERPs, we don't have as much authority yet because Google and traditional search engines take a little bit more time to process your information unless you are a news site where things happen by the minute. Down in the competitors chart, you can also see your competitors, and we also added the options of AIM, AI mode, and AI mode mentions, AI mode citations, ChatGPT mentions, and ChatGPT citations. You can see these were all 0 before because we weren't tracking it before. Now we are. Down in the share voice leaderboard, you can see the AIMs. You can see the top 10 up to the top 100. See how often they are mentioned in AI mode and ChatGPT. The number on the left is the mentions, the number on the right is citations. Big difference. You can see SEMrush here. Out of the 352 AI mode responses, they're mentioned in 78 and they're cited in 44. Where in ChatGPT, the difference is even more extreme. We have 73 mentions, but only 11 citations. And of course, if you ever want to see what they look like, you just click the number and it will load the AIO mentions here. And these are all the topics that they're mentioned in. And if you want to see the citations, you could see all the topics where they were cited and the URLs. Then we come over to the planner. The planner, of course, we have the AI mode and ChatGPT here as well. At a quick glance, you can see where you are mentioned or cited, or you're just not mentioned or cited at all, or you're just not present at all within that AI response. Down in the topical map tools, that's when we start getting into mentions and citations. So really handy if you just want to, let's collapse everything, building a topical map. And you can see in this pillar silo, we're getting more mentions, right? And here you can see what articles you have already. And you can see that in this article, case studies, we don't even have any article here, but we are mentioned and cited in multiple places. Now, if you want to filter just by the ones where you're found in AI mode or found in ChatGPT, you can of course do that. And then if you ever want to create a content brief, when creating a content brief before, we were only able to add Google AI overview to the content brief inputs. Now we can add AI mode and ChatGPT responses to the inputs. And that's going to really help you in getting mentioned and cited in AI search because we're already processing the AI search responses and what type of responses and information and facts that they want to see. Just like we do with the SERPs, we process all the competitors. In AI search, we are processing those responses. Oh, one more thing to show you in the ChatGPT and AI mode, if there are any, let's see, does this one have it? Here we go. You can see the web search and fan out queries here. These are a couple pretty long ones, but you can see that they are being used and we are tracking them as well if AI mode and ChatGPT do use fan out queries. And also, let's see, competitors. You can also get a quick glance, click the competitors tab. We moved it over here now. When the competitors finally load, let me minimize the sidebar and you can see all your competitors here. You can see where they're mentioned, what ranks they are, what they're being ranked for. It's kind of tight, so you can always come here and filter your competitors. We do have the filters where you're able to show and hide certain columns, and that could save you some space. Let's do that. So it's a little bit better. Let me make this bigger. I'll just make it bigger so you could see. But in each of these, you can see that there are mentions and cited. You can see mentioned, cited. You can see their rankings. We have Reddit here. So you could see all the ones where Reddit is showing up in the top 20. And you can see where they're being used as well. We have AI overviews, we have AI mode, and then we have ChatGPT. So really handy, really simple. This is all, of course, tied to your topical map. So these are the topics that really matter to you. They're not a random list of keywords. And also I hit it, just a second here. In our planner, we added this last activity column so you could see when the last publish or brief or anything, when it was last active. It'll help you if you need to refresh or if you have an outdated brief or outdated draft that you haven't published yet. It's really easy, handy, and you could see which ones have not been interacted with at all. There are no briefs or drafts or published activity. Next, so in Organizer, we can now also add in more topics. In the table view, we have a plus button here. We can add in topics, test topic. Okay, let's do a search for test. So as you can see, it's here, right? We created it under the optimizing for AI search. It's currently a cluster topic level. You can see the level here. So let's scroll down a little bit. Here it is. All right, so test topic here. Now, all we need to do to save it is click save, right? Now it's saving. Once it's saved, you'll see the recalculate now button because you move things around. It has to recalculate your authority scores and your internal linking as well. If you ever want to remove a topic from your map, you just click the checkbox on the side and click archive. It'll ask you if you want to confirm. So now it's in pending mode. And to save the change, you can see it's grayed out now and it has the archived. You can click save. And once it's done saving, it'll disappear from the map. There you go. It's disappeared. And if you ever want to see which topics were archived, go ahead and click show archived here. And you can see all the archived ones. Here's the test topic. And then you can always hide it again. All right, and now in clustering, you're able to choose what head terms you want for each cluster. So let's say here is one small little cluster, SAT preparation tips and SAT test taking strategies. So let's say here you want to use SAT test taking strategies as the cluster head term to represent this little cluster instead of preparation tips. Now, what you need to do is first go ahead and put in the head term that matches the row that your keyword is on. Okay, press enter here, and then you can change the other keywords cluster head terms as well. Okay, now it's under. If you try to change, let's take this one and name it back. If you try to change something else first, it won't allow you. You need to replace the same row as your keyword is on first, and then you can replace the other ones. And we just have some safety checks here because once you start changing a lot of things, then it starts getting a little bit more dangerous and you start ruining a lot of your tight clusters here. So if you start renaming things there, it will cause issues because now all your SERP data will change, right? Or you lose the SERP data previously. So that's one way to change your cluster head terms. Another way is to download and then re-upload. You can re-upload your clusters now. Okay. If you have a different way of clustering, say you have your own system of semantic clustering or SERP clustering even, and there's a special way you're doing things. Well, you can download all the clusters, all the keywords, and then just readjust your clusters that way, and then re-upload it with the same keywords. Okay. And then your cluster head terms and however you cluster it. And those are the key updates for Floyi version 2.3.0.